Fact, where we stand today is ground zero. So are you here to help us change that or what?
We come here today to make a stand. It's 51 years that they've been marching here from Grima Pace over to the embassy. And we're still being silenced in this country.
Always was, always will be. Always was,
Australia Day has evolved into much more than barbecues and boat races. Its meaning increasingly under debate. Not just what the day was, nor what it is today, but what it might become.
January 26, Australia Day, Invasion Day, whatever you call it, no one could argue there is no greater stage to celebrate or commemorate the occasion. Happy Australia Day! Spectacular collision of cultures. A modern-day wonder, the canvas for a story of recognition for First Nations people. Another chapter of that story was played out at nearby Barangaroo. The 20th anniversary of a smoking ceremony honouring the past as we look to the future.
Today, important conversations are taking place.
Joining a movement, gaining momentum.
Tell me why you're here today.
I'm here, although I'm not Indigenous, it's always important to recognise that today is not a day to celebrate.
And what do you think of the turnout, the crowd?
I think it's fantastic. I think it shows that the Australian population has woken up a little bit.
It's a real blessing to all of us First Nations people to see so many non-Indigenous and our mobs out here today standing with us in commemoration.
Streets shut down and traffic stopped. In Sydney, there were no arrests and police handed out no fines.
I think it's so fantastic to see so many different age groups, so many young people. It's Invasion Day to our people. Respect that, listen, learn.
In the nation's capital, a biker-led protest to the lawns of Parliament House on a national day where the national divide is only getting wider.
Invasion Day rally as the largest ever seen in Melbourne. But activists used the emotion-charged march to take aim at Anthony Albanese's proposed voice to Parliament.
A battle cry on the steps of Parliament House.
This is a war!
Supporters in their thousands laying down their feelings about January 26.
Some people call this Australia Day, I heard. To me it shows the ignorance of this country.
One by one, community leaders stepped up to share concerns about the upcoming Voice to Parliament referendum.
Positions must be stated before peace talks occur. Treaty can have many outcomes. Potentially it could be a voice, but a meaningful voice, not just a consultative voice.
There's a spectrum of opinions within Aboriginal communities, and we don't want to be pushed into the binary of yes and no. We want to fight for treaty and sovereignty.
The march through the city stretched for blocks, taking over Bourke and Swanston streets and shutting down the city's busiest intersection.
And hopefully we can persuade the opposition to change their minds about opposing the voice.
As an ally of Aboriginal people, that we need to stand up and support and say no to celebrating on this day.
While some people here are still campaigning to change the date of Australia Day, organisers say that is not a focus of this rally. Instead, they want to use it as a platform to highlight issues within First Nations communities.
They are still killing us! They are still stealing our babies!
Senator Lydia Thorpe joined a small group lying on the road to symbolise reclaiming country.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land!
The protest ending with a change of beat, showcasing the culture elders want to honour and preserve.
And Bethan Yeoman police are praising the behaviour of the protesters.
Far away as New South Wales and our state's west.
A collective shout that's now louder than ever.
Usually we get like 20, 30,000. I think much more than that there.
At tomorrow's Invasion Day march in Brisbane.
But there's still a lot of work to do. Rates of incarcerations, Aboriginal people still dying in custody.
From around 10 o'clock tomorrow, police will control traffic around Queen's Park, down George Street and over the Victoria Bridge to Musgrave Park. The first events marking the 26th as Invasion Day were held in 1938, though the movement has gained more traction in recent years. But in spite of waning sentiment towards celebrations, many will still take advantage of the public holiday.
Even if you're not sort of doing the wild celebrations, you know, you might still have a quiet barbie and beers with friends and family at home.
Butchers haven't seen a drop in sausage sales. Some patriotic flavours are especially popular.
The Vegemite and cheese, some people love it, some people, they won't do it.
Big events are going ahead too, citizenship ceremonies and, of course...
But what screams Australia Day more than park cricket? A sizzling barbecue and Zupa-Dupas to cool off. In Brisbane, the South Bank pool became a source of fun and heat relief for girls, boys, even birds. There with her grandkids head to toe in national pride was 86-year-old Myrtle Fanges.
And to be able to come here and just enjoy ourselves is great.
Yeah, and why do you celebrate Australia Day?
Because this is where I was born, this is the only country I know and I love it.
In Redcliffe, a coastline of cabanas, cooking, picnics and plenty of Aussie flags.
Happy Australia Day!
A time to relax with family and friends. In Ipswich, more water fun for kids under the backdrop of live music at Tullamore Place. At Brisbane City Hall, the first Australia Day as an Australian for more than 600 people from across the globe.
I've come from France.
Italy, Milano.
Emotional scenes and relief for families like the Zaidis. After 10 years, they now call themselves Australian citizens.
We did not find Australia, Australia found us.
While most spent the day around the water with family or at events, others couldn't look past Australia Day's more quirky side.
There's some traditions that stand the test of time. At the Storybridge Hotel, it's cockroach racing.
Let's go! First race.
Bill Borg has been coming here for 30 years.
It's rather sad my only sporting achievement of coming second and third in cockroach races.
His luck didn't change. This woman claimed the coveted crown. Meanwhile, the Bearded Dragon Hotel at Tamborine held its annual toad races, a memorable public holiday in so many ways. Garth Burley, 7 News.
Rallying cry.
There's been over 500 deaths and not one criminal conviction. What does that tell you?
Upset and angry, protesters are demanding change and answers for Aboriginal families.
They say accident!
The pain clear to see. Thousands joined the calls as they were heavily supervised.
I think the conversation's starting to change in Australia around the whole question of what does January 26 represent.
It's not a day to celebrate, it's a day of mourning.
For a moment, mourning in silence as they remember those who walked before them.
It's definitely really special and I feel really lucky to be here, and it's definitely something I've never felt before.
It's a sad day, and it's even sadder that I have friends that still don't understand that and party today.
The message is it's always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
Well, here you can feel just how strongly people feel towards January 26. There's a lot of hurt and anger, but also hope for how we can move forward.
Hope that change will come soon.
It eventually will when more people stand up and we all come together united as one.
Uniting for the next generation. Nakari Thorpe, ABC News.